Warning, we are a spoilers podcast. At times we are also an offensive podcast. And we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. Alright, pussies, this is your final warning.
Hello and welcome to Cinematic Anarchy. Thank you for pressing that button again and following us into whatever rabbit hole we have fucking tripped down today. With me today on the podcast we have Miss B.
Hello.
And
that was weird. Hi, how's it going?
Oh, I trying to talk right through you saying hello. Sorry about that, Miss B.
Oh, that was weird. Me coming, I don't know. Fucking hi.
And also with us we have Twitch streamer Viking.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch!
Okay, well, that was... Hello.
I'm trying something new. I'm going to try a different movie reference every time we start.
Huh.
Okay.
Question, did they actually say welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch, in Beyond Thunderdome?
No, there is actually somebody that does say it, not Beyond Thunderdome, though. It's in a different film. It's in one of those parody films. I can't remember which one, but it is in one of those parody films. So
this is the end? Maybe?
Probably.
I don't
more
think
than
so.
likely. More than likely. I don't. It's. I think it was an older parody film, but I'll find it just out of curiosity. But still, there you go.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Let's get back on topic before I start getting confused.
All right. Today we're going to be talking about a movie which several people have brought up to me, including Candace, Miss B, several different people. All were like, you have to watch this film. Finally, sat down, watched it, not fucking disappointed even remotely. It is a film that I watched on Hulu. It is called Run.
Yes.
Quite simply, just run. And yes, definitely, run. So, first thoughts about the movie.
10 out of
Let's
fucking
go around.
10.
10 out of 10?
100% 10 out of 10. As I said pre-podcast with you, what was the movie again? It's going to do my fucking head in now. There, Kathy Bates, where are you,
Misery.
bitch? It gives me misery vibes. It gives me misery vibes, and I love it.
Yeah.
Such misery vibes that you feel the need to kind of block it out a little bit and forget the name of the movie that it reminds you of.
Oh,
Just a little bit.
Yes, because that's what I do.
Just a little.
That's what I do.
Sarah
I can't focus on more than one thing at a time, okay?
Sarah Paulson did the role of the creepy-ass fucking mom to a T. To a T.
Well, she did get a lot of practice in American Horror Story, so
She's gotten a lot of practice.
she's had
in a
to
lot
play
of things.
creepy characters in that show. She's a brilliant actress, I'll give her that.
Okay, it gave me, like, serious Dee Dee and Gypsy Rose Blanchard vibes.
Oh God, what was that TV show? It was another thing on Hulu
The Act.
too. The what? The Act?
The Act,
Okay.
which is based off a true story.
Yes, I actually sat down and watched that as well. That was actually more of a TV miniseries, wasn't it?
I didn't watch it just because, like, the actual Gypsy Rose didn't approve of people using her story for television.
And they went about and did it anyway.
They went about and did it anyway, and they got a lot of information wrong.
Well, that's why they use the based on thing. You know, it's not actually the true story. It's not.
So, like, they used her story while she was in prison.
People forget
without
about
her
that.
consent.
People forget that
Okay.
a lot of things are just based on the original story or based on a true story, and obviously when you have based on, people take liberties for entertainment value.
See, that wouldn't be such a big issue if they didn't use Dee Dee and Gypsy's real names.
Very true. But I mean, then again, how many times have you seen movies based off of other people, and in all honesty, it has really nothing to do with their real lives at all? Plenty. So, you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You know, in all honesty, I watched the show. It was not all that bad. I'm sorry that the woman who was in prison for murdering her mom...
For killing her mother.
Didn't approve. My apologies. We need to get the story just a little bit more accurate.
I think she lost the right of approving after the fact she got arrested for killing her mother. Sorry.
Okay, first of all, she doesn't lose the right to her own rights there. That's the thing. She doesn't lose the right to her own personage, you know? She doesn't lose those rights. She just loses the right to do things. So
that's where England and America
they're still not allowed to use her name, her details for anything without her permission. Like, she still has those rights. And honestly, I don't fucking blame her for killing her mom. I know that we're getting completely off topic. We're not even talking about the fucking movie that we're supposed to be talking about. But I don't blame her for killing her mom. Do you know how many fucking drugs her mom had her on? And she wasn't even fucking sick?
That's actually a real disease, a real mental disorder. These parents that purposefully make their children sick to keep them constantly under their care.
Exactly.
Now, children that had nothing wrong with them to begin with. And you've got to admire the determination of this kid throughout this entire movie once she realized what the fuck was going on.
Dude, this kid is a fucking genius.
Oh, so okay, the bit that gave me sus vibes about the mom, okay, was straight away off the fact that I don't know how the system works over there in America. I'm basing this mainly off the UK. But if you apply for a university or several universities, if they're sending you your confirmation, like congratulations, through mail, like through the letters, and they haven't received a response from you, they will eventually send you they'll send you an email, basically, with the same thing. That's not something she could easily hide from her daughter. I'm saying this like this because of what we will later discuss. Daughter. So already I'm like, how has it been so long since she's applied for this university and she's not seen a single fucking letter or email? Already that gave me sus vibes. And then the second sus vibes was with the medicine. The medicine. When she reached in for the bag and pulled out this tub of pills addressed to her mother. And then mother tried to pass it off like the receipt was in my name. I'm sorry, but I don't know a single medication that comes in a bottle.
Right.
Like, that'd be a bit confusing, wouldn't you say, if you received medicine with a receipt on a bottle?
They wrap the receipt around the outside. You know where your name normally is. You have to just peel off your name, your receipt, and that's where your name is, right underneath. No,
see, the thing with controlling parents. The thing with controlling parents is she easily could have hidden those emails. She could have marked anything from any colleges as spam, and it would have immediately gone into the spam folder. And if anything, she'll be checking the email from her phone to make sure that nothing comes in the fucking inbox.
Oh no, the kid didn't have a phone.
No, exactly. Her mother. Was it Diane?
Diane, yes.
True.
Yeah. Diane.
And then
checking the emails
then the
from
next
her
bit
phone.
that got me.
Like, you saw when the mailman came first thing in the movie. Diane jumped out of her car. She left her car door open just to go check the mail.
Yeah, that was the second time the mailman had visited. The first time, the mother came through the door already with the letters. The second time, she had because the mother wasn't there at all, so she thought, I can get the mail quickly before Mum gets home. And the second she got to the door and went to open it, there she was holding the letters. Her car door was wide open, like she had literally fucking sprinted for that fucking mailbox. And I was like,
she did.
Okay, already this being fucking sus as hell. This bitch be sus as hell. But that plot twist at midway towards the end, when the daughter finds the newspaper clipping of the child stolen from the hospital, and then you see the fact that her actual daughter died. It was like,
her daughter died 2 hours and 11 minutes after she was born.
So this bitch literally went crazy about her dead daughter, and then stole one and raised it as her own.
Yep.
Oh my god. Hello, chipmunk. Sorry.
I don't get how she was able to get away with it, though, because, around the time that she stole Chloe, quote-unquote, they, security cameras and all of that is still very much in use.
It's not even...
you're in a hospital. How could you not check the security cameras to, see who's going in and out of the nursery? See who's been in and out of the nursery, who's been in and out of a hospital. At that point, once they realized that there was a child missing, they should have locked down the hospital. They would have checked the security footage and seen that Diane was the person with the baby.
That's true. Even then, even if she'd got that far, she shouldn't have lasted the amount of years she should have. For this simple fact, okay? She's been receiving medication prescribed initially by a doctor
for a dog
to her daughter. Now, during medical record, no, not just that, the actual medication as well. You've got to take into consideration, they would have it on medical file that her daughter died 2 hours and 11 minutes after the birth. So they would instantly question, hold the fuck up, who is this kid if your daughter's already dead?
Exactly. Unless immediately after stealing the baby, she went and got her name changed and disappeared to another state.
That is very true.
I mean, that could be one.
I feel like there's
they don't actually say that, do they?
I feel like I know way too much about shit like this.
I mean, there are ways
true. No, it's true, but this is the whole point of movies like this.
There are ways to kind of fudge the existence of a human being. There's reasons why people get away with identity theft. There's reasons why people are able to escape from the law for lengthy periods of time, because you can pay certain people to sort of fudge the fact that you exist. So,
exactly.
She was obviously
very, very true.
On the run up
until this. If you've got enough money, you can fucking disappear and become a new person easily.
Already shown that the mum was kind of cuckoo was from the shower scene with the scars on her back, saying that she's been physically abused, severely, and that's going to mentally fuck with a lot of people. Now, this child could have been born out of a specific traumatic thing, and i.e., I don't want to say it, but the big R word, that could have been the conception of the child that died.
Could have been a very abusive relationship.
In that, it kind of snapped in her brain. Yeah, all that. And the fact that it snapped in her head, I need this child to keep me level-headed. And when she found out her child died, her brain just snapped, and she's like, I need a baby. She saw Chloe and was like, I'm having that one. And then proceeded to raise her as her own, and had this whole deluded fantasy that that's her daughter, and she is going to raise her, and she is doing what's best for her, when really, no, you're doing what's best for you, because you don't want to be alone.
Exactly. It's I want to feel like it's that psychological break that some people get. They were in an abusive relationship or something horribly traumatic happened to them, and they latch on to somebody else. It's like almost like a codependence. They latch on to somebody else and use them as their mental level. And that's how she treated...
Well, you've got to look at it in the one scene where they're in the basement. I was going to say, you've got to look at it in the basement when she kept saying to Chloe, I'm doing this for you. And Chloe hit the nail on the hammer on the nail there, was like, no, you're doing this for you. Not me. You have paralyzed me from the waist down by giving me medication for dogs to numb my fucking legs for God knows how many years, causing permanent damage just so I can't escape from you.
So,
and I find it ironic that the movie's called Run when this girl can't even walk.
That's the point.
Sorry.
Well, running on your elbows. Running on your elbows. That's about all she could do.
The point of the name is she can't run.
Well, I mean, she can
but that doesn't say it's ironic that the movie's called Run when she can't.
Yeah, that's the point behind the name of the movie.
In her wheelchair, she could run.
The irony. Yeah. But, shout out to, Tom the Mailman.
Not necessarily she could roll.
Oh,
shout out to Tom the Mailman for trying to save her ass, and fucking Diane's over here like, no, fuck you, and injects him with whatever.
She threatened him
by confused me?
Threatening to turn him into the police as a pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
She's like, let's see what they think about this. Fucking holding up 911. Goes to call her, and just like, there's no reception.
Dead ass face. She's just like, I don't think there's any.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what got me? Why the fuck was he trying to roll her round when really he could have let her in through the driver's door? Yeah, she could have crawled into the back, and he could have just put the wheelchair in and got away like nothing fucking happened and got her to the police and everything. Okay, it was only because he tried to wheel her back and get her into the fucking mail van that way that Diane saw them.
It's because he turned his back to Diane. Never turn your back to the enemy. Never turn your back to the enemy.
I knew that was going to happen.
Never turn your back to the supposed psychopath.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. I didn't think she was going to inject him. I thought she was going to shoot him.
Me too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was expecting Chloe to be sitting there. Him mid-speaking, and then boom, brains all over the inside of the van.
I thought she was going to end up covered in gray matter, the same way, yes. The fact that he only got I want to know what was in the syringe, because she said he was just sleeping, but I don't think he was just sleeping.
I don't think he was just sleeping.
At all.
No, because no, I think that syringe... No, I have a high suspicion that what was in that syringe is the same syringe that she used on Chloe in the pharmacy. It just put him to sleep.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
So, what was you guys' favorite scene?
My favorite scene in the movie was when
at the end.
I want to say when she realized she was locked in her room and she got the mouthful of water and the soldering iron and crawled across the different levels of rooftops to get to her mother's room, and I didn't think that's what she was doing. I didn't know what she was doing until she did it, and I'm like, what kind of fucking brilliance do you have to have in your head? That's the first thought in your mind, like, I know how to get in there.
Well, she was incredibly intelligent.
Of course, yes.
She was incredibly intelligent already, like... She was fixing a fucking 3D printer like it was nothing. I'm sorry, you name me a single kid at that age that can do that sort of shit.
Kids going to college for robotics.
She fixed a 3D printer.
I thought that was
the bit that my favorite scene was at the end. That was my favorite scene. Okay, where she's in the hospital, she's telling the mother, I think my daughter likes my grandparent, like my parents better, and then proceeds to pull out the same pills that she had been giving her for years, and then just proceeds to go, no, open wide. It's like, fuck, payback's a bitch, ain't it? I fucking loved it.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I was gonna say the soldering iron than the window, but I figured that one of you guys were gonna take that. So, my next favorite scene is okay. So when she's like wheeling into the pharmacy to find out what kind of pills her mother's giving her, she's like trying to get to the fucking to the front of the line. She's like, "Excuse me, coming through. I'm paralyzed. Feel bad for me."
Right? That was pretty funny.
That bit was funny.
That was fucking perfect.
I think that was one of the comedic scenes.
Yeah.
That was one of those comedic scenes.
That was definitely well worth it. I loved that. That was entertaining as hell.
No,
I couldn't get past the whole she pulled a gun at the very end when she's trying to get Chloe out of the hospital after she drinks whatever the fuck she drank. And she pulls a gun on security as if she's like actually gonna get away with that. We are going home.
Yeah, no, there was no chance. No, but in regards,
are you okay?
In regards to the scene that you said, the whole, excuse me, get past me, I'm paralyzed, feel bad for me. It was also the bit right where she's in the line, goes, excuse me, can I cut the line? And the guy goes to turn around like, no, fuck, and then looks down, sees the wheelchair and goes, yeah, of course, okay. Because it's like, at that moment, he's like, yeah, I can't really tell you no.
He was going to tell her to fuck off. Nope. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he was about to go, no, fuck, no, of course you can go. It was one of those movies, man.
That ending scene with the mother pulling the gun on the security guards, I thought was going to go a different way because you could see that the girl's feet were starting to move again. For some reason, I felt like she was just going to stand up and shove her down the stairs. That's not how that worked out at all. She got shot, so the gunfire took me off guard.
I had a little bit of a feeling that she... No, I knew...
Oh, sorry.
I knew she couldn't, like, stand up. Like, she... While she was at her house, she was still able to, like, you know, wiggle her toes and shit, but after drinking whatever the fuck she drank, what was it? Fucking, like, formaldehyde or some shit?
Oh, good lord, I have no idea. I'm, like, almost at the point...
Some chemical. Some chemical.
It literally says, if ingested, immediately call 911.
One thing that got me, that I was disappointed with, was it stated 7 years later, and you still see her in the wheelchair. Now, my brain personally would think 7 years after taking that medication, I would expect the walking stick. I expected the walking stick bit, but I would have thought it would have just been the walking stick and not the wheelchair.
I want to say, spending most of her life with some sort of medication like that in her body probably did permanent and probably fairly irreversible damage. She even said to the young lady...
That's what I said. I was expecting the walking stick.
She drank from a bottle of organophosphate.
That's what I was going to say, organophosphate. I want to say that spending that much of her life with those drugs in her body probably did permanent irreversible damage, and even her doctor, I guess, said to her that she may never walk normal again, but she's like, fuck that, I'm going to walk normal. She was actually making good progress, and you know what, that's fine. I can live with the progress I've made.
And she started...
I will walk.
And she started working in a job where she gets to build legs for children who are born without them, or... prosthetics, yeah.
Prosthetic limbs.
And she's got a child of her own, it sounded like, and a husband, and I feel like this was left open for a second movie. Like, I left it open for a sequel.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I don't know.
I feel like the sequel would consist of, like, the mother escaping and coming after Chloe, but then, like, taking her daughter. You know what I mean? Like, trying to start anew there.
Something to that nature. I really loved that ending scene where she's spitting out the pills and she's like, I love you, Mom, but I have to go. Now open wide.
Yeah, like I said, that bit was like a big Karma's a bitch, and I fucking loved it.
Because she's not a stupid
It was
girl.
such a good movie, though.
By any stretch of the imagination.
No. But you know, I have a feeling that mother had cameras and shit in that house connected to her phone. Only reason being, there was moments where the mother should not have been anywhere near the house, and somehow she was just there. But one of the best scenes was when Chloe goes downstairs to try and look up the fucking pill,
and her mother's sitting in the kitchen in the background
in the kitchen. It's like,
she didn't move either. She
but I like how she tried to
twist
it on Chloe. No, the bit that I liked as well is the fact that the mother tried twisting it on Chloe the next, the next morning, being like, "How did you know that was? How did you know that was about the internet?"
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was up last night. She was smart enough to know that her mother might have been watching her, so she was like, "Oh, no, I was going up there to try to figure out how to fix my printer, seeing if it was maybe a clogged nozzle or something." And she goes, "How did that work out for you?" She goes, "I don't know. The internet wasn't working."
There was no internet. I don't know. There was no internet.
It's trying to catch her in a lie. And
fucking good though, man. But obviously there was Wi-Fi. There just wasn't any land internet because she disconnected the cable.
Right. She disconnected a lot of stuff.
No, we know that because she used the laptop when Chloe finds out. With that sort of stuff, all she had to do was disconnect all the LAN cables from the router, so then that way none of the actual computers worked, but the mother still had the laptop, so she could access her emails and stuff. So, because she was going to email the doctor being like, "I'm furious with this medication."
Well, and that's one of the things you heard at the end. That's why I was saying that you can tell that she had been running for a while, that she was one of those people that didn't stay in one spot for very long, because if you listen to how she wasn't expecting to end up in the hospital, and the hospital double-checked on her, and she had a history of moving her daughter's physician every 6 months. She had, they said, her primary care doctor was switched 6 times in this short period of time, you know. And they were like, "Why is that?" They started asking the appropriate questions.
No, she's had a consecutive 12 doctors in 6 months. Yeah, she's had 12 doctors in the last 6 months.
It was 12s in 6 months. That's right.
It was like that.
So she was moving around a lot, and I think a lot of that was because the amount of drugs that she was.
I like how the nurse clocked on. When Chloe wasn't in the bed and she just looked for the notepad and all it said was "Mom," and it's like, to be, it's a very simple thing to put 2 and 2 together there, but I like that the nurse put it together quick enough to call security before they escaped. Because let's be honest, the second she got out of that hospital, she's gone.
So here's my thought: who did her mother kill in the hospital? That cold blue that happened.
What do you mean?
If you saw, she walked up to the window, looked at her daughter, and then walked away when she realized that the nurse was in the room. Her mother did something to somebody to cause that cold blue, so that she could get access to her daughter.
All I think would have been, I don't think she killed somebody. I think what she would have done there was unplug the life support on somebody, making their systems flash up. Be like, "We're having this," and then kind of use that as a distraction, because the doctors would have got there fast enough to save somebody, because the nurse wouldn't have come back to the room like that if someone had died.
Well,
because they'd be too busy she would have had plenty of time to escape then.
Code blue is like cardiac or respiratory arrest.
So she had to have done something.
Yeah, so someone was on a respirator.
Because you saw the rigging.
That means someone was on a respirator and she turned it off.
There had to have been a period of time. She had to have had enough time to get her daughter, disconnect her from all of her stuff, rig her up, and tie her. You saw that she was tied to that wheelchair. Tie her to the wheelchair, cover her up, get her out of there, and get her down the hallway. So she had to have all that time before the nurse came back. So it's
Not
entirely
necessarily
possible she
tied.
did do some...
Some wheelchairs have a seatbelt.
No, if you saw when the thing actually slipped...
No, she was tied.
I didn't see it.
She literally knocks off the shoulder and there's tubing.
Tubing
There was
tying her to the
tubing
chair
wrapped
to keep her
around her.
sitting upright instead of slumped because she was paralyzed. She couldn't...
Yeah.
There was a paralytic in her system that made it so she couldn't immediately move.
So yeah.
All right. Anyway, this is a good ass
Because she
movie.
was a high risk.
I'll go exactly the same
It
way
was.
that Viking went. 10 out of 10. I love this movie. I would recommend it.
I agree.
100%. 10 out of 10 would watch again. And if you haven't seen it, anybody who's watching this or listening to the podcast, fucking do it. It's worth it.
2020.
I had reservations going into this movie.
It's 2020's run.
Those
It's on.
reservations got slapped away.
It's on Hulu. Watch it on Hulu. So
Hulu. It's on Hulu. It'll be on Netflix in April. It is also on 123 Movies if you want to pirate that thing, but we don't approve of pirating unless you absolutely have to.
quiet. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. That being said, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, listen to our sponsors, and we will be back momentarily with a pitch storm on the other end of our 30-second sponsorship. All right, we are back for the second half of our podcast and our pitch storm, and I've got our cards already drawn out here. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read out the cards to you, and we have to figure out how to piece this movie together as best we can. We can cast it, whatever we need to do. Just...
All right.
Yeah, no stops. Just figure it out, okay? Our pitch storm today is a pot-smoking rebel that can't take anything seriously falls in love with a cancer patient. And what if the main character had a secret pet dragon?
Okay, so The Fault in Our Stars meets How to Train Your Dragon. Fuck yeah. I'm here for it.
First thought in my head.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've already got this straight away.
Oh. Okay.
No, you go ahead.
Somebody.
Well, you just said you already had it straight away, so spill the beans, sir. Go for it.
No. I'm saying, Chris, you go ahead.
Oh no, the first thing that came into my head.
So a pot smoking stoner.
Yeah. We're gonna have this problem, aren't we? Constantly talking over each other. The first thought in my head, you guys read comic books? Have you read comic books recently? Or in the past?
Not recently, but yes, in the past.
There is a character that had like a little pet dragon that used to follow her around, and I think her main thing was that she could phase shift through like any type of object. Kitty Pryde. She'd be able to walk through objects, but she had her little dragon Lockheed that used to follow her around everywhere. That being said, that was the first thought in my head, just like this girl who has like almost a familiar, sort of like a little pet dragon that follows her everywhere. And people can't necessarily see it unless the dragon wants them to see it.
It's mad cute.
Yes, see? The little dragon.
So I was thinking more there. No, so the pot smoking stoner character is like young age Keanu Reeves. Like Ted era Keanu Reeves, okay?
Okay.
Straight up young Keanu Reeves. Now, our female cancer patient who he falls in love with. Now that's a real question. That is a real question. I already know who the pet dragon's gonna be. I already know.
What's the guy's name? Now I can't believe that I can't remember his name. Star Wars. Newest bad guy. What the fuck is his name? Adam Driver.
Ewan McGregor?
Adam Driver is the pothead. Is that his name? Is that his name, Adam Driver?
Yeah.
That could work. Either way, I have this image. of a Mushu type dragon with Russell Brand's face. Okay? He has a little... And it's a hallucination pet dragon that looks like Mushu with Russell Brand's head.
Hold on.
Simple as. It acts, speaks, and does everything like Russell Brand.
Hold on. You said it's half animation, right?
Right. What if the
I
dragon?
want an animated leopard gecko that has little, like, fucking wing saddle thing. Like, you know those little harnesses that they make for bearded dragons with the dragon wings? Yeah, I want one of those with the fucking leopard gecko that thinks he's a dragon.
He's not an actual dragon. He thinks he's a dragon.
He's not an actual dragon, but he identifies as one.
Okay, I could kind of see that.
I could see that. I still think it's...
And I want it to be Russell Brand's voice.
He insists that he's a dragon.
I'm not just thinking Russell Brand's voice. I want to see his face on this fucking leopard gecko.
Russell Brand dies.
I want to know, because he's got to have that...
And is reincarnated as the gecko.
And insists that he's a dragon, not a gecko.
Yeah, he's like, everyone's trying to talk to him like, you're a fucking gecko. He's like, I'm a dragon. Like, does even the hand gestures and everything. Like, no, I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon. Okay?
So the entire movie, he's just trying to convince everybody he's a fucking dragon. Who?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think who the cancer patient is, who he falls in love with, who the stoner falls in love with.
Okay, so the stoner falls in love with a cancer patient.
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba?
The cancer patient is Jessica Alba. Yes, in a bald cap.
I could see that.
I'm gonna be. Can I be honest here? I do not like Jessica Alba as an actress, even remotely. So the only pull that this movie has for me is if she accepts the role, you just make her shave her head.
And has to shit. That's fine. That works cool with me. That's cool with me.
Like Natalie Portman had to do for V for Vendetta.
But now here's the thing. Because she's a cancer patient, just like in A Fault in Our not Fault in Our Stars, but actually, like in A Fault in Our Stars, obviously she's not allowed to be allowed out as much because she's like a really severe cancer patient, and this stoner dude's trying to visit her every day. Okay. Now, towards part of the film, Michael Schur,
Okay.
He's the doctor that's trying to tell this stoner dude, being like, no, you can't go in right now, like, she's not well. And the stoner just straight up sucks him in the face to get into her, just smack! No, I want to see it. And then that's when we see Russell Brand's dragon kind of looking over his knocked out body and goes, yeah, that's what happens when you stop us. And then goes through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that.
I've liked Russell Brand and Michael Shannon getting hit in it, okay? 2 for the price of 1.
I want the main character going in to like fucking save the cancer patient from the hospital. Fucking, I want to go in, be like having a whole ass conversation with her while like smoking the fattest fucking blunt.
Just trying to hold a conversation in the middle of the hospital with the blunt in hand.
No, it's like one of them. No, it's like one of them overly exaggerated blunts as well. Like he pulls it out of his coat pocket and it's like fucking like 30 centimeters long, built as fuck at one end. It's just like a giant ass joint, and he's just like, "You want to hit?"
I can agree with that. All right.
I posted that in the group chat, not in the comments. His name's Stanley.
We were all stopped momentarily by a Facebook update.
Stanley.
One of our one of our commentators in the live stream is asking what your gecko's name
God
is.
damn it.
I couldn't remember.
It's a Stan.
Ah, yes.
No, Ollie's the patternless.
Okay. Stan and Ollie.
Well, there's Stan, Oliver, Reginald, and Nova.
Ah. You have 4 now.
4.
4. I thought you had 3.
Oh.
Now you've got... Okay. So moving back into the pitch storm.
So what was the actor's name for the stoner?
Adam
What was
Driver.
the actor's name for the stoner?
Adam Driver.
I need to see his face because he gives me the Adam Driver.
Adam Driver kind of gives me a young Keanu vibe, just a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Now here's the thing. So Adam Driver punches Michael Shern in the face as the doctor trying to tell him he can't go see Jessica Alba with the shaved head because she's severely in pain. And then Russell Brand's Leopard Gecko Dragon, when he's like, yeah, bitch, yeah, jumps on his nuts, like just bounces on his nuts and walks off.
So I'm raising my hand here for the people that can't see at home because I have one quick comment. Did you say Michael Cera as the Doctor? We're supposed to believe Michael Cera as a doctor.
Oh
yeah.
No, okay. Hold on. You know who?
For this one ridiculous film.
You know that there's a comedian that I used to listen to, and he said one thing that was very important. Oh no, my apologies.
Freddie Highmore.
It was George Carlin, and he had this one little bit that he says, somewhere in the world right now there is the worst doctor. By process of elimination, there is somebody out there that is the worst doctor, and tomorrow people have appointments to see him. Michael Cera.
Yes.
Anyway.
Exactly, and he's this doctor telling Adam Driver that he can't go in and see Jessica Alba because she's that sick. And his instant reaction is socks him in the face, just straight up, just buff.
I want, after Michael Cera gets socked in the face and he fucking, like, goes wah, crying over to his, like, human resources boss, whatever the fuck, he gets, he's like, I don't want to be this girl's doctor anymore, fuck this shit. I want him to get replaced by Freddie Highmore.
Okay, yeah. Freddie Highmore.
And it's faces.
But Freddie Highmore is fucking in a team, like, only works with one other doctor, Jim Parsons.
Freddie Highmore and Jim Parsons as a team. That would be interesting.
Yes, that would be fucking fantastic. Are you kidding me?
I could see that, especially because Freddie Hyman's already in a series where he plays an autistic doctor.
Freddie Hyman.
Did I say Freddie Hyman?
Yeah, you said Freddie Hyman.
Freddie Highmore, sorry. Freddie Highmore. I mean, he's probably popped a few Hymans in his time. No. Freddie Highmore, he's already in a series where he plays an autistic doctor.
That's the Good Doctor?
I know. That's yeah.
No, that's I mean,
so I could see perfect. That would work. I could see that.
But I want him to go back to giving off his Norman Bates vibes.
Yes.
He was part of Bates Motel. I want him to go back to playing off his Norman Bates vibes as the Doctor. Like, he has to be, like, uber creepy. You know what I mean?
I dig it.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And the only one that can actually,
I can see this.
The only one that can actually, like, explain properly the way that he does his doctoring things is Jim Parsons.
But Jim Parsons is, like...
But Jim Parsons has to act like Sheldon. Yeah, he has to act like Sheldon. Hella germophobic. Hella germophobic.
Jim Parsons is like standing in the corner. Yeah,
he's got gloves on. Full hazard. He's proper like distance. Like he has to do this way.
I was gonna go like a different level with him. I like the germophobic part, but I was thinking like he is like high energy, like 10th cup of coffee. Completely germophobic, but he is like constantly on speed, like the entire time, trying to explain. Freddie Highmore, who's just
he is Sheldon after a Red Bull. He's Sheldon after a Red Bull.
Yeah, Sheldon after a Red Bull, who thinks he's the fucking Flash. Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. No, what else I could see happening is like they let him in to see her, and then obviously Adam Driver goes over to like this one part by the bed to like check on her, and then that's when Jim Parsons' character's like standing there looking at fucking thingy Highmore and just goes, "He's in my spot. He's in my spot." Like just the whole spot thing.
Maybe he's complaining about Jessica Alba as the cancer patient being in his spot. That's my spot. That was my bed. Get out of my bed. That's my bed.
I want House to be the dean of medicine.
You're faking this.
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie is the dean of medicine.
Oh yeah, that would be. So now here's.
But I wanted to. Go ahead.
Here's just the one thing I have to mention, because we're casting this movie fairly thoroughly. We've only cast one woman in the entire movie.
Oh, God, you're right.
Number two, not only have we only cast one woman in the entire movie, but the only plot point that she has in the movie is we want Jessica Alba to shave her fucking head. That's it. That's all we've given her. Shave your head, lay in your bed, shit's gonna happen around you. That's it.
I want Jessica to be
but we've got
like constantly getting in trouble at the hospital. I want her to be this like eccentric.
I want to see a flashback moment.
I want a crazy patient next door, played by Melissa McCarthy, who frequently runs by the doorway screaming obscenities or something with the back flap of her gown just wide open. Just, ah!
Yes.
No, so what I want to see at one point is obviously Freddie Highmore kind of asks, what's your connection with this patient? Because obviously at this point Jessica Alba's kind of unconscious. And it's like, he doesn't say anything, he kind of just stares off blankly. And then we get a flashback of like them two meeting. Of like, he's coming out of the coffee shop, they bump shoulders, he helps to get a bag stuff, and then you get a flashback of them, they're in his apartment just smoking fucking weed, and that's where we see Russell Brand's character before he died, just kind of sitting there smoking weed with them, and then the next thing you know, when he finds out she gets cancer, that's when Russell Brand's character dies, and then gets reincarnated as the fucking leopard gecko, because like the way we see Russell Brand's character as the leopard gecko randomly get introduced is we already see bits of that scene as like flashback memories in a dream, and then Russell Brand's character dying, and then like he wakes up and looks over him, and the leopard gecko's kind of just sitting there reading a newspaper, like looking at him like, "How you doing, bud?" And he freaks the fuck out that the fact this leopard gecko is kind of fucking sitting there, sounding just like his best friend that died, reading a newspaper.
Now that I'm thinking about it, making Russell Brand the gecko, isn't that going to be like? Are we going to interfere with Geico at all here?
No, because that's a different kind of gecko.
I know.
I don't give a fuck.
I know. Geico the gecko from Geico.
Who gives a fuck?
Does that gecko have a name?
Who gives a shit?
I just know it as the Geico gecko.
Okay,
that's probably what its name is, the Geico gecko.
I want Jessica Alba to have her own little animated pet. I want her to have a ferret. Hold on.
Okay.
Played by, give me a sec, I need her name.
Played by a ferret. Okay. So much silence. So much silence. Trying to fill the silence.
Kate Micucci.
Who? Kate
Micucci?
Kate Micucci?
Micucci? Kate Micucci.
Kate McKinnon?
No, Kate Micucci.
Kate Micucci?
Yes.
That's a mildly high.
Hold on. She's Kate
Micucci.
Oh, okay.
She's got a very like timid kind of voice.
I gotcha. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
See, I just see her as Kate Micucci.
Oh, I remember her as part of... She's got a comedy troupe. These two girls, she constantly acts with another actress. And I'm trying to remember. It's like Oates and something or other.
Let me see. Kate Micucci.
Garfunkel and Oates. So they're sort of a musical duo. But
I want.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just thought of it. I still want Keanu Reeves in it as Adam Driver's dad. Like Keanu plays the stoner dad. Like he's like Adam Driver comes home, and Keanu's just fucking sitting there with a fat ass lunch, like, "Hey son."
So,
just so chill.
I'm gonna fill in a little plot point that you started at talking about it. I'm gonna fill in the blank here. So you were talking about the doctor asking Adam Driver's character, "Where do you know her? What is your relation to her?" And I want him to basically say that they've been longtime friends, but part of that flashback makes you realize that they bumped shoulders outside of a coffee shop one day. Shortly thereafter, he became her stalker. And basically, you see these scenes of him kind of hiding behind bushes or standing with a newspaper in front of his face as she walks by or things like that. She has some kind of retrograde amnesia or something, can't remember what's going on. So he's trying to present her to, like, a longtime friend, not necessarily a boyfriend. And he finds out that his, friend that he's known for a long time, his girl that he's been stalking, is now in the hospital with cancer, and that's why he's there. So he finds out that she has amnesia and wouldn't remember anyway.
He
so
gives off those
himself as a friend.
vibes though too.
And I believe the ending of our movie here is him being...
Okay, hold on.
So that's perfect.
Let's change the way they meet. Okay, so she gets his number from a friend, like one of her girlfriends, to go pick up some bud, because she has cancer, she's in a lot of pain, she's hungry, she's sick all the time. So she goes to buy some bud.
She needs them munchies.
She picks up from this guy, and
Miss B freezes.
She froze.
She's frozen.
And
I'm just gonna give her a moment because she's smiling there. It's a good freeze, but I'm gonna give her like 5 seconds because you know what's gonna have to happen.
Screenshot moment.
You know what's gonna have to happen is we're gonna have to have her log
out. We have to stop the live stream.
We have to stop the live stream in the middle of the podcast and reestablish her. So I'm hoping she finds her way back, because if she checks out now, the room's locked. She can't get back in. There she is. There you are, Miss B.
Yeah, she's back. She's back.
You're there.
You froze. Like, all we got to was... And that was it.
We're waiting for her. I can see her. I could hear her for 2 seconds, but she's telling us to hang on. So, right now we are
But I'm still adamant I want Keanu Reeves. I'm adamant to have Keanu Reeves as Adam Driver's stoner dad.
She made a mistake. She left the room.
Why would she do that?
So,
why would she do that?
Why
would she do that?
We've come up with a small issue. We've Miss B has left the room. So if you give us a brief moment, we're going to pause the actual broadcast, the actual recording. So you're going to hear a quick pause. I'm going to pause this recording, and then we're going to come immediately back like nothing happened. But I'm telling everybody something's happening. So yeah, we'll just quick pause. We're not going away. We're just pausing. And as you can see, that didn't really give a lot of clues that we were not here. We're now back. It's just a very brief silence, and we can go ahead and continue. We have no more technical difficulties. I don't fucking edit, so having that pause button was miraculous. Like, there was barely any break in the speech pattern. So wonderful. We're back, Miss. You look so frustrated, Miss B. You look so frustrated.
You have no idea how pissed I am. My computer just fucking shut down in the middle of my sentence.
Well, now you can go ahead.
I want to scream.
You can go ahead and tell us what your little Jessica Alba idea for their first meeting.
Okay, their first meeting, she's going to pick up some bud from one of her friend's guys, one of her friend's dealers. Turns out to be Adam Driver. And he's got a fucking leopard gecko. That's Russell Brand. Reincarnated. And she goes to this guy's house, and the entire time she's waiting for him to, like, scale out her fucking pickup, and he's trying to, like, make conversation, because, wow, this is the most beautiful woman with a shaved head he's ever seen in his entire fucking life, goddamn. And he's trying to draw out the interaction, and fucking like, oh, you want some coffee or tea or something? She, being a decent fucking nice person, trying not to insult him, she accepts it, and it turns out it's laced with LSD.
Okay.
And then he just kind of, like, keeps her there for a few days.
Oh, boy.
To just, like, calm her down and fucking... So he drugs her. And then he uses that as an excuse to, like, take care of her and fucking hang out with her and get to know her a little better. She's like, what the fuck is happening? He's like, oh, I gave you some specialty. She's like, I've got fucking cancer!
The LSD is why she has the amnesia. No, I was going to say the LSD is why she has the amnesia. Because he gave her a little bit too much. So obviously when she freaked out, when she passed out, he took her to the hospital.
Yep.
That's why she's in the hospital.
Yep.
With, like, the memory loss sort of stuff.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
When he
realizes...
So,
like, she's, like... This whole situation is Adam Driver's fault, fucking... And he's trying to play it off like, I just want to be with this cool girl. And she's just, like, confused by the entire situation. She's like, do I actually know you?
I would enjoy the ending of this movie being her coming to the reality of what actually happened to her, Adam Driver being taken away but in handcuffs, and her having actually fallen in love with Jim Parsons' character.
Ah, yes. Oh my god. No, I want Jim Parsons' character to be in a relationship with Freddie Highmore.
Oh, so they're a couple.
They're a couple, and they're, like, partnered doctors.
I don't know, I just don't want to...
In the field.
I don't want to leave Jessica Alba bald with cancer and alone by the end of the movie, because she was...
She discovers that she doesn't need anybody but her damn self. She's a bad bitch.
That just sounds like another word for alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the mindset of I can do for myself, but that doesn't mean that you don't need any kind of love in your life.
She's also got her ferret.
Okay.
Voiced by Kate McCucci.
I mean, okay. I still feel like that's a mildly depressing ending.
Okay, she can fucking work it all out. Be all happy-go-lucky, fucking go visit Adam Driver while he's, like, doing fucking, I don't know, community service.
Turns out she doesn't have cancer. It was
No. It was what?
What I want to say is...
I said, turns out she doesn't have cancer. It was her mother the entire time. Anyway.
No, what I want to see is Adam Driver walking out of the hospital all sad because she chose the other person, and as he's walking out, he dies the exact same way Russell Brand did, like the leopard goes no, as he stands in the road and the bus just kind of.
Oh my god! Yes.
Turns out Jessica Alba already has a girlfriend. She doesn't need this guy, but she's been in the hospital.
Yes, look, she's not straight at all.
She has been in the hospital with amnesia, so she couldn't immediately go and tell her girlfriend because she doesn't remember anything that's going on. Her girlfriend actually finds her and is the one that calls the cop on the Russell Brand Adam Driver duo.
Yes. She's like, so she's the one that gave the number to Jessica Alba to go get Bud.
Right. And they're not like, it's not like a live-in girlfriend. It's like somebody that she's seeing, but it's like they're not living together, so it takes a little while for her girlfriend to realize, hey, wait a minute, I haven't heard from her in a bit. What's going on? You know? Mm-hmm. They've got one of those relationships where they may not hear from each other for a day or two at a time due to work-related issues or something. So.
I like this.
Sounds.
We have to cast the girlfriend. Like we haven't cast the girlfriend yet. Who do you want?
Meryl Streep.
Stephanie Beatrice.
Stephanie Beach. You got names that you're throwing at me that I'm like, I'm gonna go look it up on Google because
she plays Rosa on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
No. I feel like I feel like the girl who plays not Gamora, the other sister in Guardians of the Galaxy. What's her name now? Gamora's sister.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, Nebula.
She also plays Amy Pond in Doctor Who. She plays Amy Pond in Doctor Who. Yeah, she also plays Amy Pond in Doctor Who.
Who?
She'd be the perfect girlfriend.
Oh yes,
in my opinion.
yes. She was also in Jumanji.
Yep.
Yes.
Karen Gilliam.
Holy shit. Yeah.
No, I actually kind of like her. That's that
perfect
I
cast.
still like Stephanie Beatrice.
She played that role well.
I feel like Jessica Alba's character needs to be the real hard ass when she finally remembers who she is. She's like the real hard ass one, and Karen is like the one that's sort of like the wallflower almost.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
But here's the thing: you can kind of drag in the Brooklyn Nine-Nine universe, and the cops that get called is like Rosa and fucking, the other cast from Brooklyn Nine-Nine just all burst into her arrest out of the
That'd be great. Fucking Andy Samberg.
Because then you still get your Rosa. Yeah, you still get your Rosa, even if she's not the girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, be perfect. Be goddamn perfect.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
I think we're good on this one.
I think we're actually very good on this one, and actually we've made it up on the back end that we've matched the front end of the podcast. So I think we might be good with just one. However, for those of you who watch us on Facebook, I feel we can do this second pitch storm exclusively for the folks watching us live on Facebook right now. So we're going to go ahead and thank you for sticking with us at Cinematic Anarchy. On behalf of Miss B and Viking.
Au revoir. Come check us out on Facebook.
Check us out on Facebook. Listen to us on Spotify. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, pretty much anywhere where you can find podcasts, you can find us.
Yes.
And
I scratched a scab on my foot.
What?
I scratched a scab on my foot and now I do the bleeds.